Welcome or welcome back to Tarot and Chill. My name's Nisha, and this is a pick a card reading to find out what should you know. I've got 6 groups for you to choose from today. Group 1 is the Bangle. Group 2 is the White Quartz Geode. Group 3 is the King of Pentacles card. Group 4 is the KitKat. Group 5 is the Oregano. And group 6 is the Scissors. Please pause the video now if you need to take a moment to make your choice, otherwise I'll see you in your reading. All the timestamps will be below. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and if you'd like a personal reading, the information will be listed below. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in your reading. Reading is for you if you chose the Bangle. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle you have Inner Peace. From the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot you have the Nine of Wands and Judgment. And then from the Field Tarot you have 8 of Discs and 8 of Wands. There's something very big that you have to deal with, and it feels like you do know that already, but I feel like it's actually really within your capabilities, but it just feels like not quite finished, and I feel like it's very difficult for you to get to the finish line. And it's very difficult the more you're stressed and the more you're not like ready to do the work. I feel like there's like a right moment and a wrong moment to do the work, and you might need to wait for the call or wait for the moment to take action, and it might be really just stressful to wait, and I feel like you'd need to try and just get some peace and quiet and in a sense of harmony and well-being while you're waiting. But also do let the stress charge you into action. I'm seeing a lot of stress. And it seems like there is something you need to do, that there's a phone call you need to make. There seems to be someone I feel like there's someone who's maybe asking for help from somebody and not receiving help. It's not that it's not worth asking, but it just seems like you might have to wait a while and keep phoning and keep asking and be louder and like amplify your requests. There seems to be something someone needs to put out there that's bigger than they're currently doing it, like they need to make more noise and put more hours in, like more hours of work, and try and do things quicker. It feels like you might be waiting around a lot. Maybe you are waiting for like someone to call you or waiting for them to call you back, but you should just phone them. Like, I don't know why you're waiting for them. And I don't know why you're waiting for others to do things for you when you could just do the work yourself. So it seems like time for you to just like chop, get on with it. Just like get on with what you need to do. And don't resent it. Like, don't be mad at the task you've got to do. It is what it is. You've got to do what you've got to do. There's not really another option. It's just like you do or die. And I feel like for someone you just need to be told that it's maybe no point in begging for help. Like for someone you want to ask someone else for help. But really you're just like sitting around and waiting for something to happen when you could do some work right now without anyone else helping you. Like, there's no one who needs to help you with your work. You just need to do it yourself. I don't know why somebody keeps wanting someone else to like help them with their work, but it's like, it's not that person's job, mate, it's your job. And I feel like for someone there is like an organization that you're meant to ask for help. It's like, for example, like I'm not sure, it's like someone who needs you to phone them back, maybe like a recruitment agent about a job or something like that. And it feels like maybe if they're not phoning you back and you keep calling them and maybe they're just like out of their office and they're out of their office, you might want to take it as a sign that that job is maybe not the right job, because it's not like the quickest turnaround for you. Maybe you need a job right now and that recruitment agent can't even get to the desk and call you. It seems like maybe they're not that interested in like hiring for that job, and maybe you should just go to another recruitment agency and go to another job. Like, don't sit around and wait for someone to get back to you at all. It's just not very clever for you right now. It's more advised for you to try and get shit done. Like, just try and get shit done as much as you can. I do feel like there's something that's going to move forwards for you soon, but it requires your hard work and your effort and your own decision making. Maybe for you to talk to other people and tell other people what's going on. I do feel like you are waiting for a phone call, and you will get the phone call, and the phone call will be helpful. But in the meantime, there's so much for you to do that I just don't know why you're waiting for the phone call from these cards. And you should not know why you're waiting for the phone call, because it's helpful, but it's also not as helpful as you helping yourself. There's something you're working on that I feel like you're waiting for it to move forwards with. And it seems like you're maybe trying to grow a business and promoting it to more people. It's not that the people won't come, but they will come in their own time. And it seems like it's time for you to relax about it and enjoy what's happening. For you in the meantime, like just enjoy a rest, because like maybe you want to be really busy with your business, but the universe thinks you're really stressed and you're just like too stressed to handle the work and the workload, and you should maybe just chill and just enjoy life. And they say a watch pot never boils, and I'm feeling that energy. It's like you're watching the pot. Just like sitting there like, say you've got a YouTube channel, you're just like waiting for subscribers to come instead of like making more engaging content. It's like maybe actually what you're not ready for is the idea that there's like a million people watching you and it's your job and you have to keep making engaging content. Because like if you can't do it when no one's watching, you won't be able to perform when there's like eyes on you. You're going to be anxious about it. You're not going to put out any videos anyway. So it's like, to be honest, if you can't put out videos, then you don't need to be a YouTuber, do you? Like if you can't do the job that you're trying to apply for doing, there's no reason for them to hire you. So it's no point in you like manifesting it or wishing for it if you're unwilling to do the work. Like say you want to be a famous musician, but you never make music. It's just pointless. Like there's someone else who makes music all day, every single day, and isn't just waiting for their blow up or like waiting for their last album to be received better. They're just making another single and seeing what happens with it and just keep putting out singles and not worrying if like anyone listens or not. So I do feel like for someone you're just focusing on like an empty space. Like why isn't there anything there? Instead of just doing something. And it is time to stop focusing on an empty space and just do something, like go forwards. And put lines through things like, nope, not that one, not that one, not that one. Not that one either, because you've got a decision to make and I feel like there are options. There's lots of options for you and you're at a point where you're mastering things and one option takes you to like your ideal path. Right now, something that's destined for you. And you can be aware of it very easily because it's really obvious when it comes in. And it is like a phone call that makes you think, yes, finally, I'm going to go and get on with this and this and this. But yeah, I feel like in the meantime, someone might be wasting their energy by like trying to follow up on something. Like say if you're like 700th in the queue on hold, there's nothing you can do to be first in the queue, and it seems really entitled to everyone else who's been waiting longer than you. Like, you know, someone's been on hold for 4 hours and you've been on hold for 4 minutes and you're like, oh, how rude. Oh, I want to be talked to first. It's not fair that someone else is getting their turn and I'm not getting my turn. Like, you can't phone them more and be more aggressive and become number one on the queue. Like, you're not more important than others. And I feel like there's lots of other people who are trying to like phone the same number or do the same thing as you, and you do just need to wait your turn and you just need to wait for the time. And also I feel like someone you haven't done enough, like you just haven't done enough. Like you haven't put in enough hours to get the promotion and all of your other colleagues want the promotion and maybe you're like the new guy and you're waiting for the promotion and not even like doing what you need to do at work. And someone else is just working and thinking they put in their application and they're going to forget about it. You know, when you're trying to manifest and you want to make something your reality, say if it's like your perfect job, what you're meant to do according to everyone is imagine it and then just stop trying to force the manifestation, stop trying to manifest and just get on with the work, because it's like if you want a perfect job, you might need to do something physically to get the job, like apply for jobs. Like manifesting it in your head is not going to actually do it for you. As much as sending out applications. So I'm wanting to say that your desires and your thoughts and what you say and do to others matters, but what matters more is like what you do on your own and what you do with others. Because it feels like you may want others to support you or join in with you, or yeah, like you want something from others. You may be asking them for help or asking them to support you or asking them to like enjoy your YouTube videos or something, but I feel like you've not actually like joined with them to make it seem like you're all like having fun together. So it's like maybe you're not really knowing what the audience, if you do YouTube, it's like you don't know what the audience even wants to watch. Maybe you don't watch the same content as them, and if you watched what they watched, you would understand why they don't want to watch you or something like that. It's like you're not really with the people. someone you might be trying to put yourself on like a higher level than people, and I feel like you're not needing to be doing that. But I do feel like you might have a position where you're in power at work, like you're responsible for helping people. And they're asking you for help and you're kind of focusing too much on the wrong people. Like I feel like there may be one person you always focus on and help. Like say you're a supervisor, there's a particular person who may be really not good at their job and you always go and help them. And someone else who's really good at their job and they just never ask you, like, please can you just like answer one question for me? Maybe they do ask you, but you just don't notice because you're too busy helping like stupid employee over there. To notice hardworking employees are just like leaving the job because you don't respond when they're like, hey, I didn't get paid on Friday. You just blank them. Seriously, it's like someone you're like waiting and you're angry, but it's everyone else, not you in your mind. But in reality, it is up to you and it's not everyone else. So I feel like you should try not be angry at everyone else and try and just make your own situation what you want to be with hard work and your own decision making and your own planning. Like no one's going to save you. No one's going to save you from yourself. No one's going to finish the job for you. No one's going to do your work for you. So it's like if you're I feel like someone's picking a career path that's not their career path. They just feel really annoyed. They're just like waiting for someone to like come and make their music for them or something. Like, why don't you just go and work in like data entry if you just like want an easy job, or cleaning or something where it's like you just have to clean. I'm not saying cleaning's easy or data entry's easy, but I'm saying for the person who doesn't know how to create like art without asking someone else to do it, it just doesn't make sense for them. Like you could just fold clothes in a shop or sweep the floor or something where it's like that's all you have to do, just do this, like waiting for someone to tell you what to do. It's easier if you don't try and go for something that's very independent, like running your own business, but you secretly want someone else to just tell you, now do this, now do this, now do this. So I do feel like if you're asking for help from somebody else, they might be annoyed with you, actually. Might be really angry with you, like, what the fuck, you're asking me for help? Especially if you're trying to ask, like, a competitor for your help, for their help. Don't know why that's coming through, like someone's, like, phoning someone who's not really their friend or their colleague or something to ask them, like, hey, could you do my job for me? Like, thanks. It's just not really, like, why would they want to do your job? Actually, why? Because you're not paying them, are you? Or are you? No, it really seems like someone's waiting for the missing piece without doing anything about it. So I have to keep telling you that you need to do something. You need to take action, but there is something really exciting happening for somebody, and it's movement to do with your work. And it's happening because of you just sticking with it and doing it all the time, basically. So for people where you're not being lazy and expecting others to do your job, which is honestly most people, I'm sorry to tell you, you're the anomaly and you just kept going with your work despite everyone else. And you may have got everyone else to like your work and join in with you and like your thing that you're trying to do. Like if you are a manager, I feel like you've got a really good way of leading your team, where it's not like you're yelling at them and you're not telling them off. It's more like you're just getting them involved. Like, so, attention everybody, can I let you in on a secret? We've got a really, really, really important meeting later with the director. Now, how are you feeling about that? I'm feeling nervous. Are you nervous? Like, you're not putting yourself above them, but you are in the position of, like, being the messenger. Messenger, got an alert from the directors, got to tell you all. Then they're more on your side and they work with you. And they're going to want to help you, like, do your job more because you're helping them do that job. You feel more like a team and not like, right, Mr. New Nobody annoying manager is annoyed with me again. I feel like you should try and see people superior to you the same way. Like, don't think your annoying manager is going to be telling you off all the time. Try and see it as like your manager's human like you. Maybe your manager will understand if you say, hey, is it okay if I work an extra hour late tomorrow? Because I've got to go early this evening because I've got a doctor's appointment. Rather than just like disappearing and thinking your manager will be really angry with you if you ask for an hour off, or yeah, doing something else, like just not telling them. It feels like you need to communicate with people. Even if they're annoyed with you and even if they're annoying, it feels like there's a way to make them work with you. You might have to put in a lot of work and it might take a while, but it just seems like time for you to do the work. Like, don't wait for the work to be done. Do it yourself. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you like a personal reading, the information will be below. Thanks for watching. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the white quartz geode. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle, you have Community. From the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, you have the Page of Pentacles. And the Sun reversed. And then from the Field Tarot, you have the King of Cups. And the Universe. It seems like everything's under your control. And you have everything you need and you have everything in hand. But you're just kind of unhappy with what you have and what you're doing and what you're responsible for and everything. I want to say it's not just you, like, please don't feel like you're the only one who's not happy. And you're the only one who's, like, trying to make ends meet with, like, maybe you don't have much left over. Seems like everyone's in the same position as you. And I feel like you don't really notice because it's just kind of a time where you need to focus on your own money and your own work. And maybe you're not, like, connecting with the community enough. Maybe you don't have enough fun time. You don't have enough time off to even call your friends and see how they're doing, but it feels like they're maybe in the same position as you. And I feel like there's something you can look at that's like what used to make you happy or what might make you happy or what you have going on that's making you unhappy. Like, why are you unhappy? What made you unhappy? Because it feels like there's kind of like an alignment process that needs to happen where you start with like the base and you work your way up and you get to the top, but it feels like you're trying to do it like top down, or like you're starting with the heart, and then you're kind of getting stuck and you haven't sorted out like the base root things. So it's really time for you to focus on like money and food and how much sleep you get and your safety and your security, and not relationships and not like fun. Like, I really feel like someone's just trying to have like a fun party, easy life, and it's just not the time for that. I'm really sorry, but you just need to accept that like most people's lives are really boring. They just do work and then they come home and they try and have a shower and they try and make sure they eat enough. Like, they're just so busy. And yes, I am sure, but you just watch too much online content of people pretending to be happy all the time, pretending to have friends. Like, to be honest, you and everyone else just need to get on with your work and stop trying to be like better than everyone or like happy or like on holiday all the time. You don't get to have a holiday, sorry. If you can't afford a holiday, no one else can either. I'm sorry, but you just need to get over the idea of like everyone's on party life. You're looking at Instagram and they post one holiday. They don't go on holiday for 6 months, and maybe you can't afford a holiday every 6 months and they can't either, and they've got it on credit card. And they're honestly just like sad every time they remember their holiday. Just always wishing like, oh, I want to go back on holiday. And it's like, really, that's making your life worse, to be honest. Like, if you just got excited about the situation you have and trying to maintain it, and you see it as a challenge to just like keep yourself in unity with yourself and balance, and maybe try and like make some new friends that make you happy, because it feels like maybe you don't have people who you get on with, maybe you don't have people you have fun with, and that's sad for you. And it is causing your heart to be like leading you or aching. There's like a heartache that's going on, and it's something that happened in childhood that's unhappy for you. You keep looking back to it and it feels like it's hard for you to connect with the community around you, and it's hard for you to feel like there's some win coming in the future. I feel like there will be something good coming in the future. There's something you can focus on. It's to do with your own work and your own stability and your own creation and your own finishing of projects, and not other people and fun. And I feel like you might have missed days where you could have just stayed at home and worked because you were too busy trying to like catch up with people and socialize, and you maybe went out drinking once or twice and then just did nothing for a week because you were hungover. Let's be honest, we've all done it. I'm not judging you. I don't drink anymore, but loads of people still do, and it's fine. I'm not judging you, but also your inner self is judging you. Like, you're not happy. You can argue that you're happy, but I don't really think you are, and I don't think any of your community are happy either, but they just pretend, to be honest. And I feel like they're just not aligned, but they could be aligned. People who are aligned, you just don't really hear from them much, and you probably miss them. And when you do hear from them, they probably just say, yeah, I'm good, work's going good, everything's going good, I hope you're good. And they're not going to tell you, like, I've got 1,000,001 problems and this and this and this. Maybe they do. Maybe you do have people you can talk to like that, in which case you should talk to them more. Someone might be a Capricorn, Taurus, Leo, Pisces, Virgo is coming through, or Scorpio friend. And I feel like, did I say Capricorn? I hope I said Capricorn. But yeah, I feel like there's some friend who, they're not going to be around you every day. Listen, they're not going to have fun with you all the time. They're not going to come to the club with you. They're not going to go for a drink with you. They're not going to party with you. They're just going to be checking in with you like, yeah, I'm good. My day's going good. How's yours going? Yeah, I just got a new job. Yeah, I just signed a new lease on a new place. And it's just for you to compare that your life's stressful, okay? This person's life's stressful. But you're just both trying to stay in good spirits, and maybe you're both kind of unhappy. But making each other's day by just communicating here and there makes you happy. That especially applies if you're single, and I feel like you might have someone who's a catch, who you're talking to. Like, they're very attractive, they're gorgeous, and it seems like you just don't have time to go on a date with them even. It's like you just can't even get it together. And you're trying to see other people in your community, and you're trying to like get time for yourself. You're trying to take control of your own emotions. Maybe you've got some PTSD or some like past trauma. And it feels like you need to get everything in alignment, ready to have like fun with this person or a date with this person. Same with friends, like for you to go catch up with friends. You have to get your own life together. And it seems like over the top of the mountain for you right now. Like what I'm seeing is you've got like this big, it's like a mountain here, and you're at the bottom here trying to sort out the basics. Like, have you got enough money? Have you got the right kind of environment to live in? Do you have pain in your feet when you walk? And it's like, if you do, then it might be like, romance is like a daydream fantasy and you just need to ignore it. Like, do you have your root and your base covered? Or your base is covered? Because it's like, it's no point in you trying to climb the heights if you haven't sorted out the basics. And I'm sorry it's coming through like that. Like, I just feel like people are all going through it right now. And it's not that you don't have enough, you actually do, but I feel like your attitude is maybe like wanting more, or like you want to buy things. You don't have much money, and maybe you already have things, and the things you buy don't make you happy. And actually you're just trying to like, things we buy to cover up what's inside. You know the All Falls Down Kanye song? It feels like you're just trying to cover up what's inside with like spending and things like that. And actually you just need like safety and security and to feel comfortable. And I feel like until you get to the point where you just feel safe and comfortable and calm and bored, dare I say it, you can't really expand to the higher levels that you want to. For someone, if you are really bored, you might find that it's time for you to maybe like make some friends, communicate with people, work on helping others, and like stop trying to get more money and more things. Like, if you're kind of bored, I feel like if you've already got some money to play with, you've got a house, you've got enough to go shopping all the time, it's kind of boring you, isn't it? Like, you're just not happy with it. You feel like, ugh, I'm so bored. So not happy. And it feels like there's something higher to aspire to. And it's like feeling connected to a community, feeling open in the heart, feeling like you can have a hug with someone and talk to them. Like, it's maybe your partner, and your partner just needs someone to talk to every day. Maybe you talk to them, but you're like, hi honey, can I have some money for this? It's like, unfortunately, your partner's like really stressed and unhappy, and you haven't like just connected with your partner like, hey, how are you? Instead of like, can I have? And I feel like that's maybe how you are with the universe as well. Like, you're not just like settled and focused. It's more like, I need. And I feel like someone, you do kind of have a job to do, and it's like being efficient and being resourceful and saving your money and trying to think about a plan. But I really feel like for someone, you just don't get enough time to like play in the grass. And there's something coming through about like spirit thinks your community needs you more than your finances. It's kind of like there's maybe a job somebody does that makes them unhappy. And yeah, it gets some money, it gets them just enough. But they're not happy with the life that they buy for themselves. It's like you're buying a life, and it doesn't make you as happy as running around in the grass with your friends would. Like, if you could just have a day where you go and stay in the mountains and you don't spend anything, and you like camp in the mountains with your friends. You just go and like camp out in the forest or something. I feel like that might be more fun than everything you've ever spent your money on. Like, you have loads of things that are keeping you somewhere, and it's like stopping you from elevating for somebody. Like, you have too much stuff and it gives you a bellyache how much stuff you have. You feel so trapped. You feel like you have to keep hold of it and keep an eye on it. And I feel like the kind of decision of like, what should I do with my money, is kind of stressing somebody out. And it's not like you should give it all away or something, but it's just more like you should probably less focus on that and trust that it's going to come in and come out and come in and come out, and you might not have much left over, maybe like no one else has any left over, but maybe you do have some left over and it's time to help people, because maybe you don't have any friends, you have time to play with you. You have money and you're like, hey, do you want to come to a restaurant with me? Your friend's like, no, I've got to work and I can't afford it. And maybe you like really feel sad and alone. It's kind of one of those things where you might have to be generous and say, well, I can pay for your restaurant meal. Or like, hey, do you need some money? Like, I'll help you out with 100 quid. You don't have to do anything in return. It's just like, I want you to be happy. Maybe you need to notice how much you don't need to like do anything that needs money. Like your friend might prefer if you just say, hey, well, how about we just sit in the park? Do you want to just like sit in the park? I'll buy us some takeaway and we can sit in the park, like by your house if you want, if you're not too busy. It feels like there's like a way of reacting with the world that's like, hey, if you're not too busy, we could just relax a bit. But it feels like for someone, their bills are kind of taking priority and like where to live. Like they don't know where to live. They don't know how they're going to get through the next day, and they're just wanting to like run away to a mountain and sleep on a mountainside. Now, I relate with you. I want to go sleep in the mountains or something as well. Like, how much is rent? Rent's so expensive. Ugh. Could I just like sleep in a tent in the forest? That sounds so nice. Oh, I feel like there's something coming through about like what you want versus what you have. And it's not really helping you to just compare it. Like there's something that you have and you maybe should try and just appreciate what you have and just go with it, rather than wanting something else. But I also feel like for somebody there's a need to kind of like go and figure out why you're unhappy now and maybe what would make you happy and what doesn't make you happy. And just sit and notice, because you might be really bored anyway. So if you're really bored and none of your friends can hang out, might be time to just think about like what the things you buy make you feel. Whether you feel happy when you spend money or save it. Whether you feel happy when you go out with your friends and hang out and like for someone it's like you go out with people you don't even like. You go do things you don't even like, and it's like that thing of like you could stay home and study and check in with yourself and like get what you need to know from your own higher self rather than readings or friends. But you're too conditioned to the idea of like you should find this fun, like you should find going to the latest restaurant fun, you should find drinking fun. I feel like actually you're depressed about it. Like there's like a depression about like, ugh, I can't believe I have to go out with Zoe to like Nobu and get dressed and put on heels and buy a new outfit. Ugh. It's like for someone who's really poor, it's like, oh, okay, you're complaining about that. But also I feel like you just don't like it, and maybe you're the sort of character where you just do want to go and sleep rough in a tent in the middle of the Spanish mountains or something, or the desert. I don't know. Like you do what makes you happy and don't worry about what makes the community happy. But I also feel like you kind of are being maybe shifted to connect with a different kind of community and a different kind of person, and to look on the other side of what you usually look at. Like if you're the sort of person where you're a material bitch, you're that material girl, you have so much money, you have everything sorted, but you just have like no common sense and no higher self and no awareness of anything and no like sense of dreaming or I don't know, of like being engaged with your own thoughts. It seems like you need to just switch everything off and stop spending money and meditate, because you've not done that, have you? No, it feels like you have like not people who you love, you have people who you just go and spend money with and you don't actually love them. For some of us it's like the opposite, like you don't have money, you don't have a car, you don't have safety, you feel afraid all the time and stressed and anxious because you don't know how to pay the next bill. And actually you're really calm and good at like meditating and just feeling so loving towards people and so wanting to connect with people and help people. But actually you need to shut that off right now, because it's like, sorry, but like meditating on your feelings doesn't make money. Like, yo, your feelings don't make, money. You've got to get out your feelings and get in the bag. Like for someone it's just not making you happy to try and talk to people or to try and go within or look at your past. And you do just need to like get on with like getting excited about getting a run in every day or cleaning your house or getting a meal and sorting your life out. For someone that sounds so boring, and you're the opposite group. Anyway, if you just want to go live in a tent in the middle of nowhere, you my people, comment below, comment a tree emoji, comment a park emoji and a rainbow, tree and rainbow or something like park, forest and rainbow if you listen this much. And you're this group and you want to live in the mountains or the forest or something, leave me a comment. Love you besties, I will see you next time. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the King of Pentacles. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle, you have Freedom. From the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, you have Temperance. And the Three of Swords. And then from the Field Tarot, you have the Ace of Wands. And the Seven of Wands. I'm seeing there's a real need to free your mind from what's really hurting you to be able to get on with what you need to get on with. It feels like you have maybe a lot of people who are attacking you and accusing you of things and blaming you and trying to make you the person that they blame for all their problems so they can just like pretend that they're not the cause of them. And I feel like you may be in an argument with people and having a lot of pain and having a lot of heartbreaks and heartaches in your heart and in your mind, but it's like for you right now, it's just nothing to do with anyone else. For you, you have to be the bigger person, I want to say. And I'm sorry to say that because I feel like you maybe always do. But it's time for you to just focus on what you have to focus on and not let all that get you down. Because at the end of the day, that's what the other people want. Like, they just want you to be annoyed and for them to be, honestly, like getting away with things. And I feel like you don't need to focus on like attacking them back or trying to stop them from getting away with things. You just need to focus on your own stability and what you need to do going forwards. And I feel like you might have to take some disappointments and try and replace them with good things for yourself. Like, just take the disappointments. It feels like certain things you might have been dealing with for too long in a way that's like too, okay, don't worry, I can fix that for you. I can deal with that for you. Don't worry, I'll fix your problem. And your own problems will go neglected because like you're trying to avoid arguments with someone or you're trying to resolve an argument with someone. And it's like you're so distracted by this person who's annoying you. You're so distracted by the person who's always trying to make your life distracted that you don't notice what you were meant to be doing with like the other people who might need your attention, other things that might need your attention. So no matter how stressful the arguments are, no matter how much people are bullying you or putting pressure on you or harassing you, I feel like you just have to do what you have to do. And I do feel like there's a situation you need to manage with. It's maybe like 3 parties. It doesn't have to be a third party relationship, but I'm seeing for someone it's more to do with money. It's like, say you were going to accept one job and then you decided to accept another job instead. And it's like, whatever you do, someone's disappointed, and whatever happens, someone's disappointed because you can't do both jobs. It's just for you to basically have to deal with this pressure and figure out something. It might be that you have to say both of those jobs are like not good enough for you, maybe because if they're both like angry at you because you've applied for another job as well, where maybe you didn't receive news of the job. It's like that kind of thing where it's like, oh, now everyone hates you and you just tried to do the right thing. But everyone hates you now and it feels like, oh God, like I'm sick of it. It feels like you just need to free yourself from all of that, but at the same time there may be a solution to find. But it feels like fighting for it is really exhausting and you maybe have higher things to focus on. So I feel like you have to do the minimum, you have to do what you have to do. And it might be like not deflecting, but combating people a little bit, just like batting away their ping pong ball when they try and push it forwards at you. But at the same time as you like batting their ping pong ball away, you also have to get really still within yourself and focus your mind. Focus on something else that you want. And I do feel like it's like targeted for you, like on a spiritual level. There are lots of people who don't want you to do your work, like they just don't want you to. It seems like you do something that's maybe like mundane to you, but it's helpful to have it done. It's like cleaning or something. It just seems like normal, like you just trying to clean the office. There's someone who keeps making a mess, and it might feel like they're doing it on purpose to annoy you, and they might be doing it on purpose to annoy you. I feel like you might try and report them and just find that nobody cares, and find that you just have to keep cleaning up despite them making a mess. And I'm really sorry if that's the solution, but it's like you're the cleaner and you have to clean no matter what, you won't get paid. If you have reported the problem to the supervisor and said, oh, this guy keeps making a mess, like I just never finish because he won't let me finish because he just keeps messing the bloody office up. And I clean up and he keeps making a mess. It might be that eventually your supervisor thinks, yeah, this person's had to stay an hour late. Maybe they just need to be like, oh, wait, time for you to leave. We have to clean up to that person. And maybe they teach you that you are allowed to shout at that person and tell them, no, enough is enough. Like, stop making a mess. Get out of the office. Why are you still in the office? God, don't you ever leave? But it feels like that might make it worse. Maybe you just don't feel comfortable doing that. And maybe it's better for you to get another job. Like, is it that bad? He does it every day and you have to clean the same office every day. The same guy keeps making the same problem. It feels like it's maybe time for you to just like lift yourself away from the bullies and the problems and think, well, I can do this cleaning job somewhere else where people actually say thank you. And oh, thank you, no, let me help you. Let me do the washing up. I don't want to be leaving a mess. No, you shouldn't have to do my washing up for me, should you? Maybe that's annoying for you and you want to say, no, sorry, this is my job. You have to just go home. No, don't clean your mug, go home. It feels like you feel like a mug. Somebody, like, because you keep trying to help people and do the right thing. I'm hearing that it's like doing the right thing is getting you taken advantage of and everyone else is crooks. And you feel like the crooks are getting their way and like, yeah, like eating at everyone else's expense. And I'm feeling that's like really hurtful for you and you might need to try and find energy to defend yourself from these bullies. And that might mean like stopping other things that you wanted to focus on because you have to just focus on like combating the bullies. For somebody, I feel like you have a lot to defend and it makes sense. Or it's like a money issue where you don't want to be like robbed of your money. You have been robbed and the police aren't taking you seriously. But also for somebody, you might know that time is money and the hours you spend like say chasing the police station to see if they've looked into that theft or burglary yet. You might find that's better suited to just trying to get money somehow. Like it's like really unfortunate because they're not doing their job if they haven't looked into it. But it also might be that they've got like 170 burglaries to look into and only like 12 people working on it. And they've been doing it for months and just can't find anything. So it's like for you, you might just find that you want to free yourself from the whole stress. And just if no one's like harassing you right now, if no one's bothering you right now this minute, if you don't have to deal with bullies right now this minute, it might be a good time for you to focus on something like I'm needing to get a new job so I don't have to focus on bullies. Or I need to move to a new area where my house doesn't get burgled. Or hey, I need to get a new job to buy things that I need to buy because my insurance company won't get back to me about that theft. It's like, you're not in the wrong, but people are doing you wrong anyway. And it's kind of maybe, I'm sorry, I'm so hungry, I haven't eaten today. It's maybe to teach you to be a fighter more. And with things like that, like maybe you're hungry and you're in a bad mood, you should try and like get time to eat. Even if people keep going like, oh, one more thing before you go for lunch, one more thing. It feels like you have to maybe get to the point where you can go, no, actually, I need to eat. It's more urgent. And that's like, ooh, did she just say that to her manager? It might get you a bit more respect at work because I feel like you might have turned into like people's bitch because you oblige. It's like, oh, would you just stay one more minute and help me do this? And you say, okay. And every time your heart breaks and you just do it anyway. And I feel like you have to get to the point where you're like, no, actually, I promised to do something for my friend. At lunchtime, I've got to go. Sorry, I've just got to go. And you just keep walking out the door. It feels like there's something you can do like that, but it's like really scary for you and it's like breaking your heart because you want to be helpful and you want to like manage everything. You want to manage your job or maybe you want the manager job. You're feeling like if you say no ever, then it will go to someone else. And if the promotion goes to someone else, just think that wasn't your promotion. Like, just give it up. It's just like, I feel like you just need to let go of all the anger and pain and stress and just get on with what you know you need to get on with anyway. So I'm wishing you luck. High five, besties. I hope you're going to be okay. Try and manage your own situation or your situation, I want to say. Feels like everyone's targeting you, but I do feel like you're like bigger than them and like, I don't know, it's like you do something better than them or you're more important than them or... I don't say that to give you a big head, it's more to just give you the confidence to be like, oh, fuck this job, I'm quitting. Because you're better somewhere else if they treat you that bad. Anyway, love to you. I hope you're going to find a better job or whatever's stressing you out is not going to keep stressing you out. I hope the bullies leave you alone. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you'd like a personal reading, the information is below. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the KitKat. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle, you have Enlightenment. From the Red-Away Smooth Tarot, you have the Nine of Pentacles, Death, and the Queen of Swords. And then from the Field Tarot, you have the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups. It feels like someone's been really single, or at least like in your mind, you feel a bit unattached to people. In a way that's been quite fun, it seems like, or at least in a way that's been relaxing, like you just haven't had to worry about anyone else's problems. You haven't had to deal with anyone else's shit. And I feel like your conversations with people have maybe just ended in like a talk to you soon, and you just never talk to each other again. Like nothing really bad happened, you didn't have any drama, it was just like, just not that entertaining. And maybe just nothing really stayed with you, you just found everything kept changing. Nothing stayed the same, and you just kind of chatted to people, and there seems to be someone who's maybe stayed with you, and you maybe haven't really thought of them actively, but they seem to be someone who's maybe not always in your life, or maybe they're slow to commit to you, and maybe they're not really around for you, or maybe they seemed like really small in your life, and not that significant. It seems like they might start to become big. It doesn't have to be someone you've already known, it could be just someone really slow moving and someone who you'll want to stay with longer. I do feel like for a lot of you there's someone you've known for ages, and you have maybe had to let this go before, like this person, and be at a distance from each other and not really know each other because of changes in your life or just like what was going on. You may have been with each other during a really difficult time. I'm hearing there was like a death in the family, or there was some, sorry for the lack of trigger warning, but I just feel like there's like a time of change that you or this person went through. Or maybe everyone around you was going through. It was maybe just like a really difficult time. It was maybe like a war or something, and I feel like maybe you like fled war, or they fled war, or you just like changed your location. And this person and you haven't argued that much. You maybe have, but not in a way that made you go like, fine then, I'm never talking to you again. Or maybe it did, but you just still like each other and you still talk to each other. I'm just saying that this may be time for you to come together again. If it's not same person from the past for somebody, it's just like a new person who you just don't want to leave behind, like I said. But in the meantime, I feel like there's a process for you to go through. There's like a letting go of feeling so happy in your independence alone. And what I feel like might happen is you might lose your creature comforts. You might lose your money, you might lose your safety in terms of like what you're used to and what you rely on. You might find you don't have as much money coming in. Maybe you have to move. Maybe you move somewhere less comfortable. Maybe you move somewhere that's like a bit cold and you just want someone to cuddle all the time instead of feeling like just going to sleep. It's maybe something really small, like your room's cold, and instead of falling asleep easy, you don't. Maybe you start missing someone from the past, and I feel like it's just time for a change, and you might end up happening across this person. That you're just thinking about them, and there they are. Whether it's a new person or the same person, it's like you're lonely and you're thinking, oh, I wish I had somebody. And someone comes in, and I feel like they're like your mirror, but they're a different version of you. Like you might be like a more subtle version of them. Like the traits that you have that are kind of subtle, I feel like they have them really obviously. And the traits that they have that are really subtle, I feel like you have them really obviously, and you see them really obviously in this person. Maybe other people don't, or maybe this person doesn't see those traits in themselves, but they see the traits in you, and I feel like for someone they are like a bit your shadow. Like they might be like the worst half of you, and I know that's rude to say, but I do just feel like maybe you've been relaxed and making your life more relaxed with your actions. And this person's been doing like drug dealing, and I'm hearing they were doing like something like smuggling cannabis through countries and dealing weapons and something like that. Like they were doing some like trash thing when they were young, and they maybe went to prison for like 6 years. And you maybe didn't hear from them for like 6 years, and you don't really know them anymore. They might have done something else where they just ended up in like a really crappy job. Maybe they didn't do anything bad. They just didn't do something that would have been amazing for them. Maybe they were shy and they just didn't go for like the promotion, and they just stayed with their crappy job out of like humility, and they just stayed there, and they still work as like a waitress at Frankie and Benny's, even though they still did the same thing for the same salary when they were like 16, the last time you knew them. And it feels like you've taken different courses in life and taken different paths. And maybe one of you is having like a bit of money still, but I'm feeling more like you both are a bit of a weirdo, I want to say. Like, to people you might seem really off, like you just don't really like anyone and you talk to them for 5 minutes and they're finding you fun, but you just don't really click with anyone. I feel like until you meet this person again, or you speak to this right person, and all of a sudden you don't feel like a weirdo, you feel sane. You feel understood, you feel like there's someone who's similar to you. Even if they're really different, you're still going to feel like, yeah, I get you, I get you. Maybe you say the same thing at the same time, and it feels like they're a bit of a distance from you sometimes, in a way that makes you miss them. And it's kind of good for you to get out of your single feeling of like, oh, I kind of like my space. I just like my own space. Just don't really want to chat to anyone. Like maybe I'll chat to someone, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll settle down, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll commit, maybe I won't. Maybe I'd like to live with someone, maybe I'd like my own space too much. Feels like you're going to start to want somebody because you maybe don't have money. Maybe don't have your own space. Like maybe you just have like your parents or flatmates, or like a really horrible place that you don't like with like spiders and a bird that sits on your window all day and it's like a draft, and like a pigeon or something and it's like smelly, or I don't know. It just feels like you're going to end up with some lesser than comfortable as much as you're used to situation to make you think about something different and open up to something different. And it feels like what you open up to is a higher way of thinking, a change that is really good for you, and also love and a happy relationship and something that's more long term with regards to your relationships. And I do feel like there's something solid that you're sitting on that's good for you. It's good for you to be staying with and like keeping on with long term. It feels like there's other things you need to do short term that are taking up your attention. And it's kind of something to like sit on. Like, you know, if you're waiting for a train and you just like sit on your luggage, your attention's not on the luggage, your attention's on the train. But also you're keeping your luggage safe by sitting on it. Like no one's gonna steal your luggage, you're not gonna lose it if you sit on it. You can't forget about your luggage to the point where the train comes and you just leave your luggage because you thought it was a seat. So try and make sure you remember what you're protecting with the actions that you're taking, because it's something you've got your eye on that you want. And if you focus on it enough, it's good for you. But if you focus on it too much, you might end up losing the thing that you were just like resting with, if that makes sense. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. And if you'd like a personal reading, the information will be below. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the Oregano. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle, you have Release. From the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, you have the Ace of Swords and the Tower. And then from the Field Tarot, you have Ten of Wands and Princess of Wands. I'm feeling like there's something really difficult to manage with right now that keeps changing for you. It's like your plans keep changing, or they keep needing to change. And you keep needing to adjust things, like there's unexpected things that keep coming up that you weren't planning for. And then it changes your previous plan, and it makes your maybe budget change, and it makes your routine change. Like you were going to do something at a specific time, but you can't do it now, and something else has changed, and now you can't do anything that you were planning to do that day. Maybe you plan to have like a really busy day and everything goes wrong. It feels like you have to always reset yourself and be very flexible, but you can't be flexible because you have like a lot of things that you're responsible for that you need to keep going with, that you can't stop. And it feels like you can't really stop and look at anything new and try and refresh your energy towards like making a new plan until you finished what you're already working on. And I feel like it might be good for you to try and plan for the unexpected. Plan for everything to go wrong. And I feel like that might be the best thing for you right now. And it's really good if you can get rid of the things that you need to get rid of from your list of things that are your responsibility, your list of things that you have to like carry with you. Like maybe it's like your possessions. Maybe you have to plan for a move and it's like an unexpected move and you find out like maybe your place has pests or something, and you find out that it has pests and it needs to be fumigated or something for like 6 months, or I don't know, like exterminators are coming for weeks and weeks or something like that, or it's being redone and there's like noisy construction going on. Maybe it's last minute and you have to figure out what you're going to do. You realize you have too much stuff and you don't even like anywhere that you can live. Maybe you really just want to like move really far away, but you just don't know how. It feels like you need to plan for the unexpected options and imagine anything could go wrong, and anything that could go wrong probably will go wrong. But also that you're going to be okay at the end of it, like somehow you're going to figure it out. Somehow you're going to find a way to be okay with what happens in the future, I want to say. But it seems very anxiety inducing right now because everything keeps going wrong and changing, and you have so much to do, and you're so busy, and there's a lot that you need to let go of that is like old stressful things. I'm feeling for someone there's like a real panic feeling, and you don't know how many things are going wrong for a reason. I feel like it's going wrong for like a spiritual reason, that you do need to get rid of things. It's like you might have a screaming match with someone because they're just causing you problems. Like it could be a neighbor or somebody who keeps like banging on your wall. You end up screaming at them and it ends up maybe making you just really affirmed in the decision to move out or something like that. It's like you have an argument with a boss and you were going to quit the job anyway, but now it's just like, well, you have to quit now. You can't stay there now. It's just seeming like there's something that goes wrong, but it's for the right reason. And it's kind of like your choice, like your plan. Even if you don't know, it might be like you subconsciously manifested something like you just want to leave your job today and quit. And maybe you keep thinking, what if I just quit? What if I just quit? And then it happens. Or maybe you do still need to like work your notice, but you've quit and you've already got to find a new job and you've been like putting it off for ages. Feels like time for you to not try and put things off, but I also feel like you might try and plan to do things and you just can't do it. And it ends up being still in your like bundle of things to do later. To-do list item that you haven't got to. Sometimes that's for a good reason. It might be like you were going to sign a lease on a particular place, but then it ends up being really bad, and it's good that everything went wrong with it for you, and maybe you're really disappointed because you thought it'd be the perfect place. But in reality, if you'd lived there, you maybe would have planned to move out straight away and hated it. And found like your shoes got stolen from like wherever they make you leave your shoes because they don't like shoes in the house, and they just steal your shoes or something weird like that. Yeah, it feels like you maybe got a bit of a difficult period, but it's guided. I want you to know it's guided. It's like you feel like you're going wrong and everything's a mess. And oh, why me? Why me? This is terrible. This is the worst thing that could happen. I feel like that's not how you're thinking about it, because you're just going to think, right, how am I going to plan around this? Like, what is the most smart thing I can do to react to this situation? It seems like every minute of every day you might have to have a new attitude of refreshed thinking and thinking, okay, that's that gone down the drain. That's that plan I can't do. What can I do? Maybe there's something more useful and practical I can do with my time today. Maybe that's for the best. Maybe it's destiny and fate that that person cancelled on me and that appointment didn't happen, like someone didn't turn up for the appointment. Or maybe it's just always destiny, and even if it's like you really need to go to the dentist but your dentist is not available today, even that, it might be like you would have gone out and got COVID at the dentist or something. So it's like lucky that you're going to the dentist tomorrow instead when it's clean and nobody has COVID in there. And you can never know what's going on with other people and in your environment that you just don't want to know about. And it's like, say you miss your bus, and that bus you think was the bus that would get you there on time. But in reality, maybe someone like had a heart attack and died on that bus. Maybe you're really sensitive and it would have ruined your day, and it's like the universe is just trying to stop you from having bad experiences sometimes. You might be having a bad experience anyway, but it's not as bad as what the experience could have been, and I feel like you need to just let go of things and be okay with that. Especially things and people who are not good for you and things that make you stressed, instead of trying to hold on to it, just think, what if I just like pause that, put that to a side, maybe try and get rid of that in my mind, and think about if you were just like free. Like, say if you don't know where you're going to move to, maybe you can just think about selling all your things and putting it in storage, or one or the other, or leaving it at a friend's house, and just going on a long holiday. Like, maybe you've never been on a long holiday. Maybe you can stay in a friend's house until you get your deposit back, and then just like spend the deposit on 5 weeks in the mountains trekking or something. It feels like you can have a different perspective on life if you maybe allow yourself to. Like, you just need to allow yourself to let go of your preconceived notions of what's right and wrong and good for you and not good for you, at least in terms of like, not like you should start doing illegal stuff or something like that. I'm not advising you that, I'm not advising you that. More like, say if you think, oh, but I need my Chanel bag, but actually you can't afford rent, sweetheart, and it's like you have a Chanel bag and you can't afford rent. Maybe you just have to let go of the Chanel bag and it's not your plan and you don't want to. But maybe you end up finding one at the second-hand shop that's like £400 and you spent 4,000 on yours and got 2,000 back, and now you spent 400, you still have a Chanel bag, but you have like some money as well to pay rent. So I just feel like it might not be what you want, but it's what the universe thinks is best for you. And the less you complain, the more time you just spend thinking, okay, that's that, how am I going to deal with that, the better it's going to go for you, rather than screaming about it. You might end up screaming at someone or something, or getting a bit stressed, having a mental breakdown, even having a physical breakdown, having a car breakdown, having something go wrong with your accommodation or your job or something like that. Like, you could plan to start a job tomorrow and then you can't start, and you were planning on that paycheck coming in and the paycheck doesn't come, and it's like, actually that job would be terrible, it'd be like really hard work for not enough money. Maybe the paycheck wouldn't have come anyway, like you would have started and then they'd gone out of business and they can't pay you for 6 months anyway, and you have to like go to court and fight. So maybe you'd be really glad if you knew what would have happened. If it's like, you're just going to be really glad, but you don't know that, and it's not needed for you to know that. Like, your back will be turned to the situation once everything goes wrong. I want to say it's like there's some plan that is helping you to avoid disaster, but in the meantime you might find that you feel like you're suffering because of like, oh, disaster, 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 disaster. But I do feel like actually there's not going to be as much disaster for you as there could be. So do please try and relax, but also don't relax too much, because you do need to respond to the stress. It's like stress, 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 stress. And if you're like chilling at home, and it's nothing wrong with chilling at home, but I feel like you should be like researching and reading and doing things, trying to get your stress away. And it might be good to walk around outside and just like find things that are good for you. But yeah, I feel like it's like I find things that are good luck for you and pick them up, but also get rid of things and donate things and let go of things and lighten up your load. Because I feel like there is a surprise coming, there's a change coming, and it's going to be quite heavy to deal with, but it can also be lightening your load if you just take it as like a change, and not necessarily good or bad, but just maybe like it is, and it's stressful. Like, yes, it's stressful, but you can also respond to it in a way that gives you a better life, actually. So try and deal with things as best as you can. I'm here for a reading if you'd like one. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the scissors. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle, you have Solitude. From the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, you have the Moon. And the Five of Swords. And then from the Field Tarot, you have Eight of Cups, the Sun, and Temperance. It feels like you'll be happier when you leave something behind. Like when you leave a situation that makes you anxious and stressed, that it feels like you've been kind of struggling with for a while. It feels like you've been stressing, or you've got active conflict with people and you've been feeling anxious. There's an unsettled feeling under the surface that's like anxiety, like it's high stress, anxiety and panic and shaking and like not being able to sleep at night and feeling like you're on the run almost, like you need to run. It feels like there are active stresses and problems and kind of like something that's threatening you. It feels like there is a threat, a direct threat to you. You're going to be happier when you manage to leave it behind, and it feels like you can leave it behind as long as you go alone, and as long as you try and think on your feet, and as long as you say goodbye to the people you need to say goodbye to without looking back. It feels like it's time to just leave, like just leave and go, and stop worrying about it and stop stressing about it. Once you leave, it's going to be so easy, like you're just going to feel more balanced and that you can manage your life better. You're going to feel so relaxed. Someone you need to move house, it's like where you're living, you have anxiety and stress all the time. Maybe you have arguments with people a lot because they're in your space or something, like maybe you share a house. Someone's always stealing your milk or something like that, and you just need to leave and get your own space, and you're going to feel so much better. I do feel like you might be moving somewhere that's sunnier as well. Maybe you live somewhere really dark, or you just have like a dark flat that doesn't have any light coming through. You're going to move somewhere that's a bit lighter, and maybe by a seaside or by a lake or something like that. It feels like it's got a relaxing, peaceful place to go and find and sit in the sun and just feel relaxed. And maybe that's going to really help you if you can even just walk away from where you're staying with people around you who are stressing you out, even like 800 meters. Like if you can just get away from people, go for a 10-minute walk and sit somewhere that makes you feel happy, I feel like it's just going to really help you to feel better and like you're sane again and like you're well again. I do feel like there's some things you can't manage and you're stressing about them. And it's maybe just time to leave them behind and stop worrying about them so you can feel like you've completed everything and like manage everything you've got going on. Say if you've got 3 things that you need to do at once, you've only got 2 hands, you can't really do the 3 things. It's like one of them doesn't balance on your head. It's like 3 things that you need to hold and you can't keep one in your mouth and you can't like pin one under your arm or something. And you can't do the waitress trick of like balancing it on your arm. So you just have to just deal with what you can deal with, and you only have the 2 hands. So you need to let go of something that's too extra for you. It's like just annoying. And I feel like that is the situation maybe for you. You have like 6 things that are just annoying you. I feel like there's someone who's like barking at you. And I feel like they're just going to give up on something. Like if you leave it, I feel like they're just going to give up and get tired and be fine and be relaxed. It feels like there's like a fair solution. It's absolutely fine. It feels like acceptable for you and acceptable for them. It feels like if you do fight for your rights and what you want, other people will leave you alone and go. But it does feel really stressful in the meantime. There's like something that's like making you feel mean. It makes you feel like you're mean to people, you're horrible, you're like finding people mean. And it's annoying and you just want to scream at people. Feels like the screaming at people might be quite good, and then you can just get away from them and leave them behind and find happiness elsewhere. But it feels like there is a need for you to take some kind of serious action to get away from something or move away, remove people from you and get your own space, and then you're going to feel just happy. And maybe it would be a holiday as well. You could just go on a holiday. It doesn't have to be like a stressful solution. It feels like the solution's really happy and you might be stressing about finding a solution. It's like, hey, just go on holiday. Your flatmates are annoying you. You've got enough money to go on holiday for a few days. Maybe you find somewhere cheap. And just go away on your own, and maybe then you feel like, oh, I'm just going to look for some places to stay another week on holiday, or where I could live that's not near that person. It feels like it's really easy for you, and I feel like you are able to manage. When you feel good, like if you're in a good mood, you can manage. But when you're stressed, I feel like it's hard. And with people around you, it feels like they're making life a bit difficult for you. And there's an end that's in sight, but it feels really difficult right now. Like there's something blocking the end that's in sight, and it's like things that you need to deal with. That might be just worth leaving or abandoning or scrapping or something like that. Like just forget it, give up on it, and then you can just move forwards really easily. You might find that there's some that you can just like package and take with you for your transition, so to speak. Take that metaphorically or literally or whatever. And other things that you just want to like kick out of your way or remove from your space. And maybe people who you want to try and encourage to come with you, and other people who you just think no. And I feel like it's not good to encourage others to do anything or let them encourage you to do anything or even interact with them too much. Like for someone, it feels like you just need to like quit your job and say forget it and like maybe just go and live in a boat or something. I don't know if you've got a boat and you can just like go and sleep in your boat or sleep in your car and you just think forget it, I don't need to pay rent that much, I don't need rent that much. As long as I've got this job, I'm gonna feel horrible, like no matter how nice my place is, no matter how many inches my plasma flat screen TV is, as long as I have to do this job every day, I'm gonna feel like a joke. Maybe you can't even think about how to even get enough money for food without your job, but maybe you have got bits saved and it's like enough for food for a few weeks. If you can just like sleep in your car or something. So I feel like someone's maybe found a solution that's like, actually, do you know what? That sounds fine. That sounds better than what I've been dealing with. It feels like it's happy for you once you just like take the decision to just go, do you know what? Forget everything. Let me just get rid of all this shit and go. Just go away. So anyway, I hope you have a great time with whatever you're doing on your own away from people. Feels like a transitional travel moment for you where it's good to travel or go somewhere or blast through some kind of barrier or oppression or limitation on you. It's just so anxiety inducing. It feels like that's kind of good for you right now, like you need that stress to take an action, but also once that's gone, you're going to feel better. So just allow the stress to tell you that there's something wrong and you need to deal with it. Allow the anxiety to tell you that something's wrong and you shouldn't try and maintain your situation and fight for it anymore. It's just time to let it go and grow and go away and be happy on your own. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed and get in touch if you like a personal reading. The information will be below. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.